Okay, Mr. Snowman, what are we chatting about today?
Why am I? The snowman. Yes.
Yes, score.
So you are the gnome.
Anyway. No, I'm a tree.
No. But it makes sense. From my perspective, this completely makes sense.
Yeah. You have a birthday in a couple of days, so you're still going to be a Mr. Snowman.
Yes, unfortunately, I'm going to be the big 50 is looming, and
entering the sixth decade.
Entering the sixth decade. This is the first thing, and the second thing is that in 2 days, this is going to be a 2-year endeavor.
Oh Lord!
So we are celebrating 2 years of That IT Show, and we are also celebrating the not so round 100 episodes.
Not so round.
Yes, I decided that we are going to be
hexa
or binary, and we are going to celebrate the 128th episode.
Sounds like a deal.
So the episode number 80, and as a small thing that we need to do behind the scenes, we need to renumerate all the episodes in hex. But having said that, let's roll the intro.
But now really, what would you like to talk about?
So, feeling festive here without any idea what we're going to talk about, I wanted to do a re-rant episode.
Re-rant?
Yes.
I was considering something similar yesterday.
Let's revisit the rants that we did in the last 2 years.
Oh, hell yes. I'm prepared for that 100%.
Because I have the list of all the episodes from the start. The first episode was in Centi-GPT.
And the first rant was Excel IT management.
No. The first rant that you did was the pricing rant.
Oh, correct. Yes,
in the second episode. So let's revisit all the episodes.
That didn't take much.
Let's revisit all the episodes and see what we are missing and what has changed in the 2 years. Because apparently 2 years is an enormous amount of time when it comes to technology.
Okay.
And I'm going to be absolutely on point, and I'm going to say yes for the first episode. Yes, when we started, the first episode was on ChatGPT. This was when ChatGPT was launched.
Mm-hmm.
It was a completely new technology, and it was completely different what we have today.
Slow down, man. You're talking like a Formula One car.
No. The thing is that it's early. This is the first episode. You cannot tell because we are recording in the studio, but this is the first episode that we are recording in the morning, not in the evening.
Yeah.
So...
whose idea was that?
I think both of us.
Damn it.
I think that the thing was that we decided that we are going to record this over the Christmas break, and this is the only, I would say, sane idea, same time slot that we can both fit in.
Okay.
So let's revisit the ChatGPT.
Okay.
What has changed?
It has become a little bit more smart. It's right after the launch, actually, quite soon after the launch, it got a couple of really cool plugins, which I tend to use at times. It got new models that are much more precise and much more, let's say, reasonable, but it still hallucinates like crazy, even without me explicitly trying to make it go so.
Yes, I would go with it has changed enormously when it comes to parsing images and parsing actual material.
Okay.
Now it's completely capable of doing some. I think that the window that they had in the start was something like 4K tokens, and now it's capable of doing tens of thousands of tokens. So it is capable of actually parsing PDFs. It is capable of understanding images and trying to make sense of them.
Mm-hmm.
I was asking it to estimate a square area of a new building across the street from us based on a single image, and it wasn't pretty far off. So for specific tasks, I think that this tool has become something that is indispensable when it comes to me.
Okay.
I have it installed and I use it almost every day for things that I like to do. For example, I don't know, parsing Excel files, doing simple arithmetic that I don't want to remember, and things like that.
You used it to program something a couple of weeks ago, for which I'm yet to send you the CSV file.
Yes.
How is it doing on that side of the things?
I was using a combination of ChatGPT and Copilot.
In Visual Studio.
Copilot in Visual Studio. Because this is the only one that is outside of complete Microsoft control, I think.
Okay.
Because this one is actually used by developers, and contrary to popular belief, Microsoft has developers. So it's not all marketing. It's not all marketing. So ChatGPT and GitHub Copilot, I managed to do an application that was more or less parsing a CSV file with the appointments. It was able to show the appointments on a single screen and show when is the next appointment going to be up. It took me something like 20 minutes, and I think that I had to there was only one mistake that I had to fix. So it was casting a wrong type in Python, but that was it.
Okay.
That was it. So it took me 15 to 20 minutes of work. It created a Flask in Python. This Flask in Python was working. It was able to parse the CSV file. Okay, the obvious problems with being America-centric, so not understanding how the dates should be written down, don't understanding what the ISO standard is. But other than that, it was completely fine. So from the perspective of somebody who uses it, not to think, but to work, I think the ChatGPT has gone a long way, and now it is actually a tool.
Like for prototyping, it seems okay for certain things, obviously.
Specifically for things that you don't want to remember about. For example, if you want to create a Qt prototype of an interface in Python that has a couple of buttons, you just don't want to make an effort of creating the framework needed, or you don't want to use the framework, you don't want to manually type in the code for that, and then ChatGPT comes in as an indispensable tool to just do the boring work for you.
Okay.
Okay, now let's switch on ChatGPT because we're going to be revisiting it a lot. Let's switch to the other things. As I said, the second episode is you ranting about pricing that makes no sense.
Oh, you did some ranting as well, but
No, but did this thing fix itself?
No, it's gotten worse. It's gotten much worse. If you keep the perspective of the topic that we discussed, which was hardware, VGAs, motherboards, whatnot, no, it's gotten worse. I would argue that it's gotten much worse as well. The only, let's say, and this is weird for me to say, the only kind of bright shining star in that regard is related to some of the things that Intel has been doing in the past month or so with the launch of their latest, let's say, graphic cards, because they seem to be optimally priced for the amount of performance that they have and have gone way forward in terms of the performance. So a lot of people like them, but the problem is that the availability is not as good. But hardware pricing is still insane.
I think that Intel,
Apple is even worse.
When they started doing the Arc line of cards, I think that Intel positioned itself in a way that the pricing was the thing that made sense. The hardware was correct, but drivers were abysmal.
Yeah, they're not anymore.
Yes, the drivers are on par with NVIDIA and Linux.
No, we basically were on the money when we were discussing Arc in that and a couple of next episodes afterwards, failed launches and whatnot, because we said that we dislike the idea of having launches with products that are not finished for whatever the price is. They kind of fixed that over the period of these 2 years. Most people are really happy with the drivers. They have a couple of really cool features on top of everything that everybody else has. So yeah, Intel fixed that part of the story quite well. It's just a matter of mass. Now, how many cards they're going to sell, and is that going to have an effect in pushing the prices of other two vendors down?
But I think that what Intel is doing right now with the ousting of their CEO, and they're trying to change directions, I think that they have a much bigger problem to solve, because they have absolutely no idea what the future is going to be for them. they're trying to decide between keeping the fabrication inside the company or getting rid of it and spinning it out. And I think this is something that can break even Intel.
Yeah.
Because it's multi-hundred billion dollar problem. And I think that the cores that the Gelsinger had when it came to Intel was much, much more intelligent than what is being proposed now. I think that
I agree. I don't think he made any mistakes. I think it's just part of the course what happened.
No, I think that what they were trying to do right now is they're trying to make short gains, and they're going to lose in the long term. And what he was trying to do, he was trying to create a long-term win.
Yeah, and let's not forget that as he was at the helm of Intel, they did innovate quite a bit. They came out with the first PCI Express 5 chipset. They came out with the first chipset that supports DDR5, etc. So they did innovate quite a bit. And the graphics, as it is shown now, has been a solid investment that I think is going to pay out for them as well. Yeah, well, let's not go over every single episode because that's going to take forever.
No, but I want to point out a few of those because in the start we were eager to say a few things, and then we watered down a little bit. Now,
not really.
The third one, the Twitter. I'm going to be quick on this. Twitter was bad way back then. Twitter is now completely unusable from everybody's perspective. It has become politically correct, but in a way that agendas are being pushed left and right. This is the first thing, mostly right. The other thing is that bots are overwhelming the platform, and it's so tough to find any content other than when something happens. That Twitter is basically unusable.
Coming from you, that says a lot.
No, the thing is that it was become US centric. It has become centered on people who are paying for the accounts, and also a lot of people who are paying for the accounts are just bots that are constantly respamming in the same manner. There is a couple of initial messages that you see all the time. For example, I don't know. Take a look at this video. This is part one. There is something interesting coming in the end, and so on and so on. So they try to pull you in to watch the thread, and it was. I must say that it was novel when it came out, but right now they're just reposting videos after video after video. So it is not impossible to see the same repost of the same video on the different accounts at the same time on your timeline. So Twitter has gone. From my perspective.
It's just gone.
Yes.
Okay.
Then I want to skip the Excel, which is still a disaster.
No, the Excel management of IT. That's what we were discussing. That was already a rant.
So the management hasn't changed because the managers never change.
No, the cloud just has gotten more expensive. That's it.
I would go with the Fallout quote of war never changes. Management never changes.
Yeah.
The other thing is that we were talking about ChatGPT integration in Microsoft, and we said that the future of work is here. Apparently, it is not. I tried Copilot for for Microsoft. Compared to all the other Copilots, all the other AIs that are intended to help you work. I think it's on par with Gemini right now, Google Gemini, in being almost completely useless.
That's fine by me.
The rewriting part is fine, but if you want to do something more intelligent, like, I don't know, asking it to take a Word document and then create an Excel document out of it, or create a PowerPoint presentation, it is still down to you copy-pasting across the applications.
Thank you.
And that's it.
Thank you.
Why?
Because you said it.
No, but I'm using the it when it comes.
Most people aren't.
No, it's more complicated to use pronouns in Croatian than it is in English. But I'm using it because it's an application.
Yeah.
And a bad one at that.
So then we come to the first chat with our students, basically educational episodes. Let's round them up all together, unless we want to stay here for the next 3 hours, which I have nothing against, but yet why? We did a series of episodes related to A, education, and B, some of our students. There were 2 free episodes with students and at least 1 or 2 episodes, but generally speaking, about education. I have to say that me as somebody who's constantly driving the technical topics mostly here, and you are the one who interjects with social topics a lot, which I appreciate because I do need a little bit of steering. I'm a little bit too technical at times. I appreciate us doing that episode, quite proud of them, and they are some of our most viewed episodes by a large margin.
I wanted to interject because this is the first 100K episode that we had.
Yeah, and this was quite substantial, not only from the standpoint of that, it was about some of our partner companies starting to notice us as well. Some of our academic partners, for example, contacted us about this one and wanted to keep us doing the episodes like that. We didn't do it for them, we did it for us because we actually have, as educators, quite strong opinions about what is and what isn't and what should and shouldn't be happening in education. But by showing our students our, in a sense, pride and joy, some of them at least, we are kind of also giving a positive side of that story, not because we redacted the negative ones. We openly talked about some of the negative stuff happening in primary, secondary education a little bit later in the year in more student episodes, and devoted the whole episode to that. We still think that stands, and there are large things that should, there should be substantial changes in the primary and secondary, let's say, education system, but it's not necessarily happening. That being said, those episodes, I think I'm quite proud of them, especially because they are about our students.
I think that the thing is, when it comes to all the content that I'm consuming all the day, is usually the one that deal with anything education related are probably the most used by me. Mm-hmm. The thing is that when I'm trying to, for example, right now, while I was driving, I'm listening to a book. Mm-hmm. When I'm watching something on YouTube, it's more often than not something that is a history of something or some other view on some technology. So I think that it is not that it's only me. I think that people are more interested in people explaining things and people trying to teach you something. And specifically, people want to see why young people want to learn. It's a thing that we are missing, specifically in Croatia, in the schools. We are missing on explanations why learning is good, mm-hmm. why education makes sense, and this is the void that is filled by YouTube videos. And I think that this is the reason why they're most often viewed.
One of the things that I've noticed in the past month or so is an overwhelming amount of YouTube videos stating that education doesn't make any sense at all. I don't know if it's the same on your YouTube stream, but in mine, I get constant videos about how, for example, our topic, computer science, makes no sense in terms of education, which I'm not stating this for economic reasons. Computer science is too vast of an area for most people to be able to grasp without structure.
I'm going to go on a limb here and say that computer science no longer exists.
Okay.
It's the same as saying you should learn mathematics. It's just so vast of an area that there is no way to try to educate people on mathematics or languages.
Okay.
So we should be more specific. And when you become more specific, people find things that they want to know.
Yeah.
And so I think this is the thing that we need to always have in mind when trying to create content. You need to specify the scope, mm-hmm. so the project scope. Mm-hmm. The scope should
PMP class begins now.
Yes, but the thing is that the scope should be specified in order for people to understand what they're trying to learn about. If you would say, I'm going to just go and rant about everything IT related, mm-hmm. it doesn't make sense.
Nope.
You need to make a niche for either the entirety of the curriculum that you're doing or the particular episode, the particular topic that you're dealing with, and then deal with it.
I agree. I think that one of the things, coming back to some of the stuff that we've done over the past 2 years, we have not watered down. We have become a little bit more focused. That's what I noticed. We have, as we are going to discuss, like very topic-based episodes. Motherboards, laptops, Apple. We made boatload of episodes about Intel CPUs. You did a heck of a lot of episodes about ARM, about 6502. You started making some episodes about Proxmox lately as well. This actually makes sense from our standpoint, not for the views and the numbers. It makes sense because it's a little bit more focused approach.
It's also, you can notice this in my Proxmox videos. The thing that I'm doing here is I'm trying to relearn my experience with the different open source and different technologies that are on the market right now. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to recreate the thing that I'm doing all the time. So I specifically don't have my home lab. Mm-hmm. The thing that I'm doing right now is I'm trying to restruct and structure the thing that I actually have. Mm-hmm. Because I don't have a home lab, but I have 2 servers that are capable of running virtual machines. I have a 3rd server that is a storage. I have a 4th router on pfSense or OpenSense. I have a double internet line to the outside. So I don't have a home lab. I have an actual production setup at home that I'm right now trying to restructure as also a home lab so that people can actually learn something from it. Because what I'm doing is I'm learning in production and the production is me.
Yeah, that's good. You did the same with 6502 with ARM basically, but started way lower in the stack and in different approach because the topics that cover assembly language and whatnot are not the same as having GUI and just click on Proxmox or whatever. So that's definitely good, and it kind of shows actually. Not necessarily. This is not the topic that we usually discuss. It doesn't necessarily show in the number of views, but it does show in the number of watch hours. The stuff that we did there are much more, let's say, user-friendly for a lot of people who might be beginners or something like that. God knows that there are a lot of people who want to try something in IT, whether that's programming or system engineering or cybersecurity, topic that we are going to also cover today. This is user-friendly content for them. That's what it boils down to, which I actually like. Not that I'm trying to purposefully create episodes to kind of like aim in that direction, but it just happens as a general thing.
I have an idea for a series of episodes. What I'm going to do, and I'm going to do those. I'm
not necessary here.
No. You are necessary here because you're going to now break down in laughter. The idea is for me to revisit different, let's say, different areas of human expertise from the IT standpoint.
Okay.
So what I'm planning...
So you want to rant about various other jobs not related to IT, but still related to IT?
No, I want to be more specific. I don't want to rant about those. I want to actually explain to people who are doing those jobs how to do them. So
please give us a little bit more specifics.
Let's say that we are doing an episode of marketing.
I knew it.
So what I wanted to do is I just want to be specific on the topic and try to explain to marketing people why they are wrong.
Okay, almighty Asmin.
No, the thing is that only marketing people like marketing.
I don't think that most of them do, but mostly they do. Yeah.
Because I don't know a normal person who likes marketing.
Yeah, okay.
By liking marketing, I think more like, I don't know, we have a colleague who is into marketing and he actually likes marketing. Mm-hmm. He likes talking about marketing. He likes good campaigns. He likes well-structured materials. And from my perspective, although he may be a colleague that you or me may or may not like, I like him for the reason because he likes marketing. He likes what he does. And he's pretty good at it. Okay. He thinks that he reinvented parts of the universe, mm-hmm. but also he's good at marketing. Mm-hmm. I like to stimulate those people
Okay.
And also, I would like to make a few notes as somebody who has, from time to time, some use for some marketing, how to make our lives easier and how to explain to people who actually do marketing why they are doing things wrong.
Okay. Sounds reasonable. I cannot wait to see that.
Also, I think that we need to take a shot at marketing. We need to take a shot at management.
Sales.
We're not going to talk to sales.
Why
They
not?
don't know what they're doing, and the sales don't exist. Sales is something. No, sales is something that actually works as soon as you have good content. So
Whatever the content may be.
so you don't need a salesperson. What you need is a person who is going to do the sales. So this is not a salesperson. This is a salesman or saleswoman that just gets the box across. And since we're doing the digital in digital realm here, you don't need a person.
Okay.
You need an app.
Or ChatGPT.
No, you need an app.
Okay.
So I think that I'm going to go more into this in the next year.
Okay. Sounds interesting.
Now let's go back to me trying to go with some structure across our episodes, and mention a couple of rants that
You trying to structure something.
yes.
What strange little world we live in. Okay.
No,
go
no.
ahead.
The thing is that when you take a look at the episodes that we did, it becomes clear that we have some sort of a structure to this.
Okay.
Insanity has a structure.
Of course.
Now
There's a method to our madness.
there is madness to our methods. Yes. The thing is that I wanted to re-mention the episode about perpetual licensing. Because the Broadcom the Broadcom debacle came after that.
Oh Lord, yes.
What have you learned from this?
Absolutely nothing. It
No,
still
I think that the Broadcom has learned us enormous amount of things.
teached us.
Yes, teach us. Sorry, it's too early for me to speak proper English. I don't know why. When I'm more tired, my English makes sense. When I'm still asleep, half asleep, my English doesn't make sense. Anyways,
Okay.
The Broadcom has taught us a lot of things. One is that people are willing to pay more if you ask them to pay more.
Insanity as such, but yes.
Yes. The idea of Broadcom saying we didn't believe that there is so much money to be made here
Yeah.
is amazing.
Ludicrous.
No,
Yeah.
it's amazing.
Yeah, I
It's
agree.
amazing. Buying a company, making an order of magnitude higher prices, and then saying, "Oh, people are actually buying these,"
Yeah. Surprise!
is such a corporate thing to do.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
I agree.
Also, is SXI free right now?
There is no ESXi free. I don't know if there are still demo licenses. I think they are, but
No, I think that they are not. But I saw that there was some rumors about SXI becoming free once again. I know that there is a license that can be bought that is cheaper. By cheaper meaning only twice the price that it was before the takeover. So it's not 10 times the price. But the thing is that when it comes to virtualization, there is a single thing that came out of this, and this is the free version of workstation.
Yeah, I agree. That's a huge plus for a lot of people.
On the other hand, this is the thing that I didn't show you. I'm unable to download the free version.
Yeah, because you are
No,
chaotic.
no.
Why?
No.
Like
It's much more Broadcom-ish of the.
No,
than
I
this.
actually posted an article in our academic Discord server, unofficial one, with a link to the official article in which it's described how to download the networks. I did it last week.
Yes, and as I said, it has become Broadcom-ish thing.
Broadcom, okay? You need
The
to log
thing-
in?
No, I need to log in.
Okay.
Okay,
It's a free
this
account.
Is fine. This is fine. I can log in, and I can. Let me just check. I'll do it while we talk. So the thing is that I can log in, and I made a mistake. Probably 10 years ago, when I
Okay.
created my VMware account,
Okay.
I used creation characters.
So let's rant about this for a second.
No.
let's
Okay,
not.
okay. So
I'm not gonna stop.
So the thing is, I used creation
Digraphs, okay.
digraphs. The thing is that it was by mistake. I was using a password manager. It just auto-filled my first name, last name, and that was it. Now, in order to download the VMware workstation, I need to check my profile and say that the profile is okay. On the Broadcom webpage, I can check my profile, and if I say my profile is okay, it's going to tell me that I cannot use creation characters in my last name.
Okay.
There is no way to change them.
Yeah, you need to contact some kind of a support somewhere in support.
Yes, as I said, the Broadcom insanity comes in
which
place.
you are to blame for.
I'm going to go on a limb here and say that we shouldn't be blaming users for being having a name.
Correct.
It is like saying that it is so condescending, specifically coming from a company that should know better.
I have a much worse example of this, actually. This is causing you some pain, but I have a very recent example of this happening, very same topic. Basically, four of us wrote a paper, and I tend to make a correct mistake of not using Croatian digraphs in the names, which is completely unproblematic. That being said, when I noticed that there were four authors are on the paper without our Croatian digraphs, I went and changed that so that it reflects our real names, for which the system that we are uploading to, actually it supports it, so it's really not a problem. And then I got to get an email from the editorial of said journal that we are posting to, that we are changing the authors. And I got this email 3 or 4 times in the past 6 months. We published, 30 papers or even more in the past year. 15, roughly half of which were journal papers. In the journals, this is where it happens. The conference papers are not, conference organizers are not as picky about this, but they still do complain when it happens, which I understand. But in this case, we're talking about basically the same journal with which we had that situation twice before. And I still have to send them a bunch of emails explaining to them that C and ch, the difference between the international and the Croatian digraphs in the surnames, that this is not a different person. And they can easily verify that by email address, by org ID, etc. But they still at times send me emails that I have to explain this. They're always reasonable. And I tell them, this is the same thing, it's just with Croatian digraphs. I'm sorry, my mistake when I uploaded the paper, blah, blah, blah. So now I just started doing the opposite of what I usually do. I just started using the digraphs when I do the people part, so who are the paper authors, and now everything is fine. But it's something that I'm not necessarily expecting people to know, but I'm still expecting people to know after having the same situation in the same journal with the same people, etc., 3 or 4 times. But yeah, it kind of also pushes you in the direction of just try to solve that problem beforehand. So that we don't.
But I think that this is just a sign of a bigger problem, because people, when they are creating the applications, and by creating the applications, I mean any kind of application, being a software application, being a web application, being an actual Word document that you need to fill out in order to do something, tend to forget that there are multiple alphabets available. There are multiple languages available, so they cannot force people to think only in 7-bit ASCII. We are used.
That's what Unicode is for.
Yes, we were doing this because A, 7-bit ASCII was the only thing that was available.
Correct.
And B, we were a small country.
And not only that, it's kind of a best practice if we talk about the file and the directory names. It still is, and it should be.
Also, the thing is that you should be, when they introduced Unicode, which by itself is insanity.
Yeah.
When
smileys are a part of Unicode, by the way.
Yes, but no, it's not only the smileys. There is a lot of other things. Specifically, there is not single Unicode. Being 16 and 32-bit Unicode is more or less arbitrary right now. So the thing is that when they introduced Unicode, we should at least understand that if a POSIX compliant operating system supposedly supports Unicode, it should be supporting it all the way.
Yeah.
Also, the other application should be supporting it. I know that this may become a hot topic for some people, but I don't want to mispronounce people. Also, I need to have a way of writing my own name, and for other people to write their own names. I understand that there is some form of transliteration required because you want to specifically transliterate different names and surnames for people who are using other alphabets. But when it comes to me identifying myself to a system, I should be able to use whatever character that is used in my
Good luck
language.
with that.
Yes, I know.
Most of the login systems do not support that, nor they will. Personally, I don't think they should, but yeah. Can we move to something that you skipped conveniently?
Which one did I skip?
You skipped my couple of hours of rants about laptop and the motherboard designs.
No. I was just going to put those into
Different bracket.
Veteran yells at clouds or veteran yells at ports. Because you were ranting about ports and motherboards, you were ranting about ports on laptops, you were ranting on ports on video cards.
Yes.
Which port did you rant about that I forgot?
USBs, the versions of USBs.
In the meantime, I found a interesting usage case for the USB-C.
Okay.
If you have a USB-C port in your computer, when you have it on your laptop, it's easily seen. So you are going to use USB-C and just plug it in. If it's behind your desktop and you want to plug it in blindly, more often than not, you're going to push the USB-C into the USB port, USB port.
Yeah.
Since the USB-C has ground shield around the connector, this is going to short the USB-A port, and this is going to reset your computer, at best.
Yeah, at best. That's the best outcome, yes.
So I did it a couple of times, and I completely couldn't understand what is happening. Why am I resetting my computer when I'm trying to plug in my my mouse? And then I realized, okay, I'm plugging it in the wrong USB-C. So how? I don't know why they chose the dimensions of the USB-C connector.
Can fit in the USB-A.
It can fit in the gap between in the USB-A connector.
Yeah.
The same thing with the Ethernet.
Yeah.
Why did they choose USB-A to be able to fit into the Ethernet connector?
Okay, the shorts don't happen there, if I remember correctly, but still.
Yes, they do, but nobody cares. But the thing is that you can still plug in your USB into the Ethernet and then waste a little bit of time figuring out why it doesn't work.
Yeah. Anyway, I ranted a lot about these two topics and a couple of others, actually, related to lack of availability of ports or whatnot. But let me bring you up to date with that. Those rants still stand. They're still on point.
Yes.
They're very much something that's becoming almost timeless now, which pisses me off to no end. I don't necessarily like ranting or yelling, but that was me yelling at the keyboard, the VGA card, the USB ports and whatnot. Problem being that a couple of weeks ago I was considering assembling a new system. For which, actually, I wanted to create my own personal NAS for reasons that are completely logical. I wanted to have something that's built from a case from the ground up for my specific use case. I wanted to find a motherboard for that use case, which was nigh on impossible, which meant that I had to go towards I need a SAS controller route, which was fun. Because most motherboards that go into the NAS cases, which are mini ITX, don't even have PCI Expresses. If they do, they cost an arm and a leg.
I have a spare
old motherboard.
No, I have a spare server case.
Yeah.
With daughter board or the base plate for the drives and controllers. You just need to find the motherboard for this.
Yeah, I'm running towards you for a 50-pound case so that I can just
I
carry
also
them.
have a Gen 6 HP with...
Thank you. I have Gen 8 to spare. No, actually, this was hugely frustrating. At the end, I almost went to the office and took my Cosmos-based system, because that one can fit, depending on the version of the Cosmos case, 10 or 12 drives. And I have a very old motherboard inside, X58 or something like that, which has 7 PCI Express slots, so I can easily upgrade or install any kind of storage controller in, and the VGA card, and the freaking USB, and still have some expansion ports left. I just gave up. And this is where the industry kind of pushes you towards buying a specialized NAS, which has been completely, shut on by Synology and some others. Synology especially, because nowadays they want to send you the Synology NAS, and then they want to sell you the drives that are 3 times more expensive, because they are the only ones supported, stuff like that. So I'm still somewhere in the limbo of what to do about this. And my second part of the new rant about this is thank you, motherboard manufacturers, for making motherboards in ITX, mini ITX format that do not have at least 8 SATA or SAS ports. Thank you very much. You are very, very welcome for that. God damn it.
In any case, let's
move on.
Let's move on. No. Let's just switch topics with the rant about the boards.
Oh man.
I'm going to rant about the USB-C and the insanity of the compatibility with everything. Because once you have a USB-C connector, it doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't. USB-A, the same thing.
No, but USB-A more or less is going to support, you're going to, by the color of it, usually you're able to tell with which connector it is.
Nope.
But having a USB-C, and then having a separate utility for your laptop to tell you if the Thunderbolt is available or not. For
approving Thunderbolt devices as well.
Yes, this is something that is completely insane.
Just completely against the idea of USB.
Yes, the thing is that what happened is that I was talking to a mutual colleague of ours, and he wanted to buy a Thunderbolt dock for his laptop.
That's an episode coming.
Yes, and then he splashed something like 200-300 euros on the Thunderbolt dock for the laptop. And
the amount of rage that I feel right now.
No. And I warned him that he has a Dell and that he should check if his laptop is actually supporting the Thunderbolt. He said, no. It says Thunderbolt on the box. So
seen it happen.
And now he has a dock and he has a laptop and no way to connect them.
Of course. Yeah, that's completely reasonable. Okay, which episode or episodes do you want to comment on more? From that page.
Let's talk about. Let me just.
We made a boatload of these small IT guides for installing OSs as well. In that era, no, I don't think we should comment on that. It's just too boring to even start. But after that, we went a little bit more towards the IT history. If you don't have any other episodes before that, there's loads of those.
Yes, I wanted to mention the episode from the recent bunch of episodes when you were doing your live show on the
Retro
PC.
That was one of the most enjoyable episodes to make and one of the most stressful ones. If we were to measure stress and if stress was something that I actually felt.
Which actually proves two things.
Yes.
Episodes without me are most successful ones and also most stressful ones.
Okay, bye.
No. They are stressful ones.
No. Let me try to explain, because I was doing this episode not on my own because I didn't want you there, as you know. It was in the other studio, which we don't visit as much for political reasons and other complicated reasons. But at the same time, I was trying to do a multi-camera setup, which in that space is very difficult to do. And I wanted to show every aspect of the build. This was actually when I did that RISC-V system as well. That was quite a bit easier, actually, because the computer is much smaller. But this one is a hulk of a PC, and I made it so on purpose, because that's how the PCs of the era were. They were either desktops or quite big towers for us who were into that stuff, the SCSI, the all-in-wonder cards and whatnot. The result of that episode, actually, I'm discounting the views. I'm not talking about the views, actually, because it got quite a few. And I was quite enamored to find that the live version of that I was doing, something like 700, 800, 900 people were watching interactively while I was doing that, which was cool, not because of numbers, but because of the interaction a little bit. But doing that episode, the switching on my own, because there was nobody in the, there was no director or producer or something. I was doing this on my own. Setting that up was 3 hours of work, figuring out which angles will work, and still it wasn't perfect by any means. I had to cut a lot of stuff because I was standing in front of the camera or my back to the camera, stuff like that. So I need to learn some stuff. Just like when we are going to do this in the future. We probably would want to have one of our colleagues, switching this and doing stuff like that. But that episode eloquently proved to me a couple of things. The most important of which is not necessarily retro PCs in. I've been barking at that tree for months now. This is not a new thing, and I was talking about doing an episode with that specific computer for months before that. And I have another episode coming up very soon about this, but in a completely different direction. It shows that not only is there a market for this, which is kind of logical. It's the circles, the circle nature of life. People like us, we are now, in our 45-ish or whatnot. We are at the prime of our economic prowess. The things that we remember from when we were younger, when we couldn't get them, those things are highly imprinted in our memory. I have hundreds of comments confirming that, not only from the worldwide audience in private chats and whatnot. It's actually from the local market. This is where I've noticed it the most. I've gotten dozens and dozens of comments from people that we know, from our circle of wider, IRC and whatnot friends, stating that that was a kick-ass thing to do. And yes, I enjoyed doing that. I know you also commented in a positive way about it. That we need to figure out how to make some more of these episodes, but not to overcrowd the channel with it.
I think that we should be making more live episodes. But the thing is that this episode proves the point that we made in this episode. And this is when you have a specific thing that you are doing.
Yes.
People like watching it.
Yes.
Because you cannot be more specific than actually putting together a thing that actually exists. Mm-hmm. So you made the choices. Now you are explaining those choices, but you are actually explaining why this thing that exists looks like you designed it. So it's a specific thing that you're doing. It's a specific topic that you're covering. So people know what to expect. And this is the reason why, as we said, specific episodes work the way they do.
I would argue one more thing, which I've kind of understood through life in other aspects of it, not necessarily in this episode. The passion of doing these things is clearly visible on camera. People react to that. Quite a few people sent me messages and emails, even as I said, from the local market, saying you had loads of fun doing that. Yeah, that PC costs an arm and leg, very, very expensive. But and acquiring the parts, it took me 6 months to get those parts. A year before that, actually. So this episode has been a year in the making.
And also the insanity of you doing it in the middle of the night.
Yes.
Because what I must say is that since we are trying to push for the another time zone, he was doing the episode sometimes in
2 in the morning or something like that.
No, 3 or 4 in the morning. So the period when nobody exists.
In our time zone.
In our time zone. So he did it while being also tired, and it shows that he's tired but happy to do a thing.
No, I was pure adrenaline driving the whole episode. It was easy thing to do. But disassembling the setup was a nightmare. You were peacefully sleeping, and rightfully so, because you did a bunch of other episodes before that. So I had to move all of that, the cameras, the setup, the cables, the whatnot. It took me an hour. You know that space is very complicated in that regard. So yeah, I would like to do some more episodes and builds. Actually, it doesn't have to be retro. It can be whatever the current generation PCs. Actually, there is an episode looming on the horizon in the future. As I mentioned before, we start filming this. We have been contacted by some manufacturers, and we are getting some hardware. So these sorts of episodes are going to become. I'm not saying prevalent, no, but they are going to become a mainstay. They are going to become something that happens. At times.
I'm not saying that also that we should be also contacted with manufacturers. What we are doing is I would like to do an episode to go deep dive on clustering.
Yeah, I know.
And the thing is that you actually have the hardware necessary, but it is going to take a lot of time to prepare it.
Yeah, because this is not just record done.
No, it can be record done, but then it's going to
boring
be boring. The thing is that even the Proxmox one, which was fun for me to make and which was easy for me to make, took me probably a couple of days to get the. I didn't have a script, but I had my notes to say what I wanted to say and what I wanted to do. Vedra knows that I could go through this topic in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Or so, but it wouldn't make any sense. So. I would like to do some deep dives on technologies that we're taking for granted, specifically the technologies that everybody seems to say they know about, but have absolutely no idea what it is.
Yeah, clustering is a perfect topic for that.
Clustering is one. Kubernetes and Docker is another one. Or containers.
Can you do episodes on Docker and containers and Kubernetes on your own? I am tired of it. I wrote 10 papers. And a PhD on it.
No, I don't have any problem with creating an episode of those. But the thing is that we need to take into account that people, in a way, got tired of new technologies.
I'm kidding.
And they.
I am kidding.
No. But I'm not.
No, I'm kidding in terms of you doing it on your own.
No. I have no problem with that. But the thing is that this is part of the teaching. I don't care. I can do it. But
yes.
The thing is that people got tired of new technologies.
Mm-hmm.
What people did is that they were able to keep in their head a number of phrases, a number of abbreviations for people, different things that were available on the market.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, an average consumer, even a prosumer, let's call it like that,
mm-hmm.
is unable to tell you about 80% of the technologies that are available.
Mm-hmm.
Because they don't understand the depth of it. This is the first thing, and they don't want to understand the depth of it.
Yep, they just want it to work.
Which
it doesn't.
When you ask an average developer, he's going to be all for Dockerization.
Correct.
And then when you ask him to actually create an application for the containers, it is going to be awful.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't understand what the containerization is about. When it comes to clustering, people don't understand that they have a cluster in their own mobile phone.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is that we have grown accustomed both to having new technologies and also misusing them or completely not understanding how they work.
Yep.
And this is a huge problem, especially in IT, because it used to be that a person who was doing IT knew what he was doing.
Yep.
Now,
freestyling.
Most of them are freestyling.
Yeah, which actually this doesn't piss me off. This worries me more than pisses me off. And we are doing our best to kind of educate people not to be like that. Even programmers as well, because we do a couple of courses for our programming students too. It worries me because these technologies do not work properly at any time of their lives. They require a lot of juggling, a lot of extra configuration. They are slower, much slower than expected. If you're talking about, for example, Kubernetes, the scheduling in Kubernetes sucks fucking ass for anything other than some kind of a, let's say, general application. If you go 2-tier, 3-tier web application, everything falls apart. If you migrate from Kubernetes to OpenShift, everything falls apart. We are thinking about writing a paper about this because one of our students recently had a run-in with this sorts of scenario. And he was like, Professor, you kind of, I was kind of reminded of your words how sucky the scheduling in Kubernetes and OpenShift is. And he described the scenario, and we both laughed together because that's exactly what we told them it's going to happen. Stuff like that. And my actually, if I can just interject one sentence related to the PhD work that I did, my PhD eloquently proves that Kubernetes has no space in science.
The problem is that people have a bunch of computers and they want a way of using those. Kubernetes, since nobody actually understands what it does, sounds
apart from some of our students.
Yes, but no, they even though they didn't understand it before they actually tried to use it.
Yep.
If you use it in a way that it was intended to be used, it is completely unusable.
Yes.
The thing is that it is going to work on a specific set of cases for specific applications that require a lot of scaling up and down.
A lot of configuration.
And also a lot of spare processor power and spare server power, because you need to be able to scale up and down, but also you need to do a lot of housekeeping work behind the scenes.
Yeah.
The idea of having a 3-node cluster that you bought for 2,000 euros used, and then putting a Kubernetes cluster up, and then doing any meaningful work is completely insane.
Yeah.
And people do it.
Try to upgrade Kubernetes version A to B. Good luck.
But not even that is not the problem. I have been through this when I was installing Proxmox, because when I was doing the Proxmox is by no means comparable to Kubernetes.
No, it's not.
But if you try to install Proxmox, and if you do it the way that people are suggesting you do it, so just grab some hardware, install Proxmox, this is going to work. No, it isn't. It's not going to work. It is going to be awful. It's going to be slow. It is going to be completely unable to do most basic tasks. So you need to actually plan in advance. But people get promised virtualization that is completely hassle-free. People get promised virtualization is going to just work out of the box, whatever this means. And if the box is big enough, yes. But when you try to do it by using the hardware that you have at home, or the hardware that you think that you have it in the office, it is not going to work.
Yep.
The same with Kubernetes, the same with all the other technologies. So this is a huge problem to get across.
We could actually do something very, I would call this crazy. We could try to do an episode in which we build out a Kubernetes cluster and some plugins and some stuff. It is going to require quite a bit of time to prepare for this, because there are a gazillion variables that can go wrong. But that being said, I'm not afraid of making an ass out of myself while doing a live episode. That's what they're for. And the PowerShell episode proves that eloquently as well, because I was doing a demo that I did many times before, always worked, and then it turned out to be crap. More to the point, before I forget about the RetroPC episode, there is another one coming, as I mentioned in the RetroPC episode, while I was doing it. But again, it took me months, as he knows as well. He has been a loyal supporter / somebody who watches from the sidelines and almost gets as frustrated as me, getting a video converter that can sustain the old RetroPC resolutions on VGA and convert that to something that's HDMI and usable for the purpose of making an episode, because we have to connect it via HDMI to our setup, has been a 6 months journey now, and I've spent way too much money trying to do that, and I did not start with 10 euro adapters. I started with 200 plus euro adapters that don't work in that sense. So now I just went to the what used to be a Kickstarter campaign, out of which came a device that works out of the box like this. And it still is 200
You know,
plus
we
euros.
have another alpha upstairs.
Yeah, I know.
We are going to plug it in.
Oh man, that's going to take another year.
No, this is going to be the 2026 is going to be our year.
No. Yeah. You are doing a Chinese democracy by Guns N' Roses in real life, in real-time production. For those of you who don't know, the Guns N' Roses recorded that album for more than a decade.
I think that what we're aiming for is Half-Life.
Half-Life. Excellent.
Yes, and Duke Nukem.
Of what? You 255 or
Or alphas.
35? Sorry. Yeah. Okay.
Yes. So, and anyways, let's go and switch a little bit to different things, because we were covering my journey into insanity with iPhone.
Yeah.
And I must say that 2 years on, I'm still using the iPhone. And I was trying to understand why. And the thing is that in the last 2 years, I haven't thought about my phone. I hadn't had the problem that would make me mad and say my phone is crap. And
I saw you mad at your phone right at the beginning of recording of this episode, but okay.
No, it was mad. I was mad because of the different reasons. It connected to the wrong Wi-Fi network, and then it was trying to connect the sound, the sound mixer that we're using, and it's simply because we configured it to do it. Mm-hmm. But I was regularly upset with my Android not ringing, with my Android not being able to, not giving me the ability to answer the phone. Mm-hmm. The wait
Which still
time
happens on iPhone.
I'm not going to go and say that it happens, because there are problems, but there are much smaller problems when it comes to the
because it's old enough.
I don't think that this is the idea. I think that the idea is that it was thought through a little bit better, and also it is much more closed as an architecture, ecosystem and architecture. So there is less of a way that it can go wrong.
No. What I was referring to is the latest gen of iPhones. If you look at the reviews on YouTube and whatnot, people have complained about dozens of super annoying things. That's what I was saying. So maybe the older ones don't suffer the same fate. I don't know. Haven't used an iPhone since iPhone 1, nor do I plan to.
No, I have another problem with this, and this is the price that you need to pay for the new iPhone.
Okay. I just bought the latest Galaxy. It's not like it's cheap. It's not, but it's still cheaper than the Pro Max or whatever the biggest model.
No. There are no other phones that are as expensive as iPhone when it comes to high-end models.
Yeah.
And specifically, if you're buying more memory in the iPhone, it can be extremely expensive.
Just like Apple computers. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. We were dealing with Apple a lot. I'm going to say that for most of the year, I understood why Apple works. Also, with this laptop that I'm still using 2 years on, I also got another Windows laptop that is a small one, and I'm using those interchangeably because for some reason I cannot grasp some ideas that this operating system has. I have a problem with some of the applications because I don't know why they are pushing the design ideas that they have. This is not a design directive from Apple. It's just that they don't understand the things that people want.
Yeah.
And this is something that is completely puzzling to me. For example, I'm still trying to find a decent application for remote work. I was looking for a remote desktop application that is capable of doing both SSH and RDP and all the others, VNC and all the other protocols. There is a mobile Xterm on Windows. For Mac, I don't know. There is a couple of applications. Each one of those costs something like $5 or $6 per year. I don't know. It just isn't there. Mm-hmm. I don't want to use 10 separate applications because I want to have a couple of. Since I do a lot of support and also I do a lot of connecting to different computers. I want a decent application that is easy to use, and I don't want to learn 5 different sets of shortcuts and 5 different sets of UIs and so on.
Agreed. I was just looking into one of the episodes which we recorded in 2023. 2023, September 29th. Drowning in subscription expenses is like a logical extension of that. But some of the episodes that I did, in near the end of 2023 were related to some of the DevOps topics, Ansible specifically. I am going to make some more episodes of that next year. Not necessarily because of viewing numbers, because the viewing numbers on those episodes are usually lower, but because this is something that those people who actually require knowledge about this, they will probably find them to be very useful too. Not go head banging against the wall trying to find solutions to some of the things that can be provided by an episode of a podcast. We talked about various, let's say, online methodologies for learning. We talked about Apple. We talked about the websites of the manufacturers of hardware and how they are basically awful, which they are for most of them still to this day. But we are coming now to something that we definitely need to discuss, which is cybersecurity related episodes. We only did 2. One of them was actually released on December 8, 2023. It is almost 140,000 views, which is very, very good. We did not expect such an episode to produce such results. But there is a side effect of that episode which we didn't expect squared, which is that this is the most commented episode ever that we got by a large margin. It keeps on receiving comments more than a year after it was made. We keep on getting private messages about it to do more cybersecurity related episodes, and it's constantly, it is still something that's in heavy rotation. It's every single month that episode gets a couple of thousand views easily. We are not marketing it at all. And just based on the attention span of the audience, this is a valuable topic to discuss. Even if we discard the numbers and the comments and the likes and then the ratio and whatever, these are the topics that we are going to discuss in the future, even without all of the things that I just said, because cybersecurity is something that we think about a lot. B, we just changed the way in which our university program works so that it reflects cybersecurity more than system engineering, which we find to be very useful for a lot of future generations. And C, it is an always interesting topic because of the fact that cybersecurity problems are basically everywhere and constantly getting more and more nasty every single day. And talking about this with our colleagues who are even more into cybersecurity than us, brought us the kind of like a halfway towards live episode type of vibe. And we actually, when we started the podcast 2 years ago, we were discussing that we are going to have guests and whatnot. I think that we should revisit that idea in the next year and bring a little bit more guests, maybe even remotely via Zoom or whatever. It can be recorded. We can make it happen.
Yes, I was thinking about this too, and I promise that we are going to try to make lives and guests. But the thing is that. To be completely honest, the reason why most people don't do live episodes and why most people don't do guests is because it's much more complicated to arrange it if you're not doing YouTube on work only. And
schedules are a problem.
Schedules are a problem. Specifically, the schedules when you're talking about business people, because we want to talk with people who make sense and who have some clout in the industry. And if you're trying to deal with those people, you need to be able to accommodate their schedule. Mm-hmm. And this is extremely complicated when you have your own schedule to accommodate to. Mm-hmm. Specifically, when we're doing the lecturing, it is hard to find 3 or 4 hours during the weekday or the week to create an episode. But this is a problem that we need to solve.
Yeah, we're going to work on this. Then switcheroo to this year.
Yes.
The first, almost some of the first episodes were related to the fact that John O'Mara was here.
Yes.
This was a kick.
This was interesting. This was extremely interesting, and this was the things that I learned from him and things that I because. In the end, what we got 15 minutes of time to talk to him in front of the camera, and we got 2 days to spend with him behind the camera. And the thing is that there's a lot of things that he said that would be probably called controversial right today, but that makes sense.
Yep.
Also, the other thing that I wanted to say is that he proved to me that talking to people who make sense in the industry, even though you may feel like they are just reiterating something they have said 100 times, makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
People like to say it.
I absolutely agree with you. It didn't, because of the way in which the event where he was with our university, we didn't get much screen time with him. Maybe that changes in future. We're still in contact over some of the social media as well, so let's see. But after that episode which jump-started our year, this actually episode and a couple of others marked a huge upwards trajectory in the development of the podcast, basically. And let's say February, March this year, our numbers started to go heavily up, especially in terms of subscribers, because right now we are on the verge of 300,000, and at the beginning of the year, we were nowhere near 100,000. Actually, I looked into this.
Let me interject with one thing. I suggest that we stop right now because we are almost an hour into the episode. I wanted to mention a thing that could be a thing to move us into the next episode. And the thing is,
do you want to do part 2?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I'm completely for the part 2, and I'm also trying to say something.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching a video by Mentor Pilot, if you know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
The last one.
Yes, I watched it.
Which by itself is actually a feature film.
Yeah.
It is not a YouTube episode the way people think about YouTube.
Yeah.
It's actually a feature film with all the things that a major TV company could produce.
Yeah.
And it got me thinking about how YouTube actually changed in the way videos are being made.
Correct.
So much so that they are by far better than everything that is being done on TV.
And that was heavily commented on that video and a couple of others by other people recently. And I noticed the trend, just like you did, of I don't want to use too heavy of words, but YouTube content creators of that level are moving more towards a documentarian style, which is much more difficult to make, especially on the topics that he's covering. But still, people are commenting on that. I mean, Tom Scott has been gone for a year or whatnot. People are missing this sort of content, which is a little bit more storytelling with visuals related to something like a documentarian style than just a regular YouTube video. I think it's a natural progression.
But the thing is that the budgets for the high-end YouTube videos have gone through the roof.
Yes.
I was watching a Mark Rober video, or more specifically, I was watching a video about Mark Rober creating a video.
Yeah.
And the production costs for a single video for Mark Rober is something like $400,000.
Well, we would do that if we could afford it as well.
Which is more or less a budget for a series of shorts for, I would say, a pretty decent company.
Yep.
And he spends it on a single video. And the reason why he does this is because he created his own ecosystem where the videos don't have sponsors.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's sponsoring himself.
Mm-hmm.
He's talking about his own products, so he's actually selling those products, and those products makes money.
Mm-hmm.
And this is fine with me. What Mr. Beast does, so I would say borderline shocking videos exploiting different ways the human psyche works, and then making money out of it is another thing. But what Peter from Mentor Pilot and all the different people who are doing these kinds of videos do is that they are creating high quality, extremely watchable and extremely good content and they are trying to skip over trying to actually
drama, clickbait, whatever.
not that, but they're not pushing for anything.
Yes.
They have a sponsor, but they're not pushing.
Patreons.
They don't have they're not trying to push into selling you anything. They're not trying to push you into viewing it. They just say, okay, we created this. This is amazing, but you can watch it if you want.
A side effect of one of Petr's videos might be the fact that in the last week or so, the MH370
Yes.
flight investigation has been reopened.
Yes.
It might be a side effect of the second video he did on that topic as well. So he's doing some, I don't know, super important work.
What he's doing is he created a niche that people didn't know was there.
Yeah.
Because what he did is he started talking about airplanes from a perspective of somebody who is actually talking about accidents and incidents
while being a pilot and instructor.
While being a pilot and instructor, but also by being decent about it and trying to make the most out of facts, not trying to make up narratives.
Yep.
And this is what is interesting, and I think that this is also possible in the IT world, and I think that this is possible in every aspect of YouTube videos, except those that are made by the top 100 people on YouTube.
Okay, but if we want to make videos like that, you have to stop renting them out to Microsoft, and I have to stop renting.
Why?
I'm just kidding.
But I think
as long as we stick to the facts, I'm good.
I think that CoffeeZilla or H-Bomber Guy style video about Microsoft would make a nice
hell of a lot of sense. Yeah, I know. That's
so,
cool.
anyways, let's leave it at this, and let's
reconvene for the next episode.
Reconvene for the next episode after the Christmas break.
Yeah.
Thank you for being with us. Merry Christmas or whatever thing you are celebrating
Happy
right
holidays.
now. Yeah. Happy holidays, because what I dislike about this world is that right now is that it is not possible to wish people happy holidays and good wishes for the new year without explicitly being under fire from one or the other side and by saying you are
mispronouncing whatever. I don't care. We said our good wishes.
No, I just want to say the best wishes to everybody in the new year, whichever year you're celebrating. Because those no the thing is that there's a lot of different things, but for more on this, watch our next episode, and thank you for being with us.
Yeah, bye.
He's still Vedran.
Yeah, he's still Yasmin.
And see you. Bye.